Hello and welcome to episode 19 of the Wellbeing Knits podcast. My name is Robin, and as always I will be your host of today's podcast. It's been a while, so this might be a little bit of a mess, but I will try my hardest to make it a good one. It has been a while, as I said. I've just not been in the right frame of mind to do a podcast. Lost my mojo a little bit, lost my, I guess, interest a tiny bit. I mean, you'll see today that maybe not a lot. And my anxiety was a bit high, so yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna really try and look at the camera but if I flick my eyes across, I'm really sorry. I want to know what my face is doing and if it looks silly. But anyway, I will try and look at the camera. I keep looking down that kind of direction because that is where my notes are. And like I said, this is episode 19. My name is Robin. I am Wellbeing Knits on Instagram. I am Dumbledore's Socks on Ravelry. And I've included my Facebook page and some other links down below in the description box. So, let's just get right into it, shall we? I'll do all the chatting in the middle, you know, kind of interspersed in between. So firstly, what am I wearing? So this, now I'm probably going to butcher the name of this, and I don't think you've seen it before. Don't think I've worn it on the podcast before, but this is the Vellichor. Now again, I've probably butchered that. It's kind of a, what is it? What am I saying? Kind of. It's a boxy tee. And it's kind of that open neck thing because it is boxy. Now it's by Andrea Mowry. Sorry, let me just get comfortable again. So it's by Andrea Mowry. I very rarely wear it. I think it's sort of a, no, it's not, it's fingering. I very rarely wear it, but you know me, I'm not very good at wearing my knits. I'm definitely more of a process knitter than a project knitter. But I saw this and I thought this would be perfect. It is a fingering, but because there's so many yarns in there, it's really thick. And not in a like, whoa, I'm too hot way, just in a thick way. So anyway, so yes, so that is the Vellichor by Andrea Mowry. It will be in the description box below. And I knit this in 2019. I knit it with so I bought the yarn when I lived in Canada, and I bought it, I think I bought it either at Knit City. So I think the two greys, so there's a dark grey and a light grey, and then this quite bright green. Now I either bought it at Knit City or Fibres West, or maybe even Vogue when I went down to Seattle to Vogue, but I can't really remember. Sorry, but the yarn, so the dark grey and the light grey is West Coast Colour, which I definitely got at Knit City. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous yarn. I love it so much. I'm actually sad that I can't really get it very easily. I love it. It's this grey for me that I just love. It's tonal and gorgeous. So yeah, and it's plump. And yes, very sad that I can't get it very easily. Excuse me. And the green was a little mini from Puzzle Tree Yarns, also in Canada. But again, I don't really remember where I bought it. I'll try and link them below. I don't even know if they're both still dyeing. I'm pretty sure West Coast Colour is, but I don't know about Puzzle Tree Yarns. I feel like they are. I feel like I saw them recently. But because I'm kind of out of the loop with those ones. I'm So I don't really know what's going on. So yeah, so that's that. I love it. Then we have finished objects. Now I have 3. I know. It's been that long. So I have 3 finished objects, and I'll go through that. I also went to East Anglia Yarn Festival, which if anyone follows me on Instagram, they would have seen my post about what I bought, but I just wanted to show it on here as well. And then I also have a work in progress. I'll update you on the yarn in and out, and I will be talking about a little test knit that I did, which is in the faux finished object section. So excuse me. So first finished object, and it's a beaut. I'm quite, it's the yarn and it's the pattern. I had nothing to do with it. Let's face it, really. I mean, I put the 2 together, obviously, and I knit it, but it's stunning. Let me just show it. Shut up and show. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh. So as I say, I have put pictures on Instagram. That's the best place to find me and the best place to find updates on me. I'm really useless at Facebook. I've given up. And oh, I also have Bluesky, which I'll add the link to that below. But I haven't posted to that either. So Instagram is the place to find me. But let's get back to this. I'll just show it again, just in case you missed it the first time. Isn't it gorgeous? Yeah, right, let's have a chat about this. So this is the, it's gone out of my head all of a sudden. This is the Glowhair Frost shawl. So it starts here. It's a excuse me, it's a I don't know what is that called, not crescent, but it's like a rounded shawl. I guess maybe a crescent. Yeah, crescent, let's call it that. So you start here and you work your way out, obviously, increasing all the time. So it starts with this sort of lacy section, this section here. These are called, I think they're called something like pine forest or something, I can't remember. Then you get this section again, then some bobbles, which I have never knit a bobble the way that this is a Stephen West pattern, in case that wasn't obvious. Everyone knows the Glowhair Frost by now, surely. But this is Glowhair Frost by Stephen West. Never knit a bobble that way before. But there you go. I kind of wish I'd done the bobbles in a different colour, but it doesn't bother me that much. And then we've got kind of a flowery section. Sorry, I don't talk to people. I live alone, so I don't talk. Then when I'm doing talking like this for a long time, my throat is like, what's going on? Why are you talking? So yeah, sorry if I keep doing that. So anyway, this little flowery section, and then there's some eyelet sections, and then this gorgeous sort of flowery with a cable. And then you've got that sort of pattern again. I don't know the names for all the bits and bobs, sorry. Then you've got another lacy section, some sort of moss stitch, and then these are like chevrons. And then there's an I-cord bind off, of course. And there's an I-cord all the way along as well. So stunning. Absolutely stunning, if you ask me. And I know I'm slightly biased, but so that is the Glowhair Frost by Stephen West, Glowhair Frost shawl. This came out, it was the Hyper Knit Along shawl for like the end of last year, the beginning of this year. So it came out, I think, after Christmas. And yeah, love it. The yarn, sorry if you just heard my chair. The yarn was, the yarn is, sorry, Giddy Yarns. It's in her 2023 Advent. And yeah, I mean, so what happened was, if you've been here for a while, you'll know that you've seen these colours before. So what I did was I'd already used 10 grams of almost each mini in another Stephen West shawl, the Vertices Unite. So I had 10 grams left of each colour, except for maybe I think it was about day 23, 24. I think I still had a full skein. So, and I still have a full skein of day 23, day 24, and I have most of the skein of day 23. So that's a 20 and a whatever's left for day 23. So obviously they're just going to go in the mini box now, but yeah, so gorgeous. I mean, it's a really pretty fade. It's so smooth. She does gorgeous yarns. Giddy, this is Helen from Giddy Yarns. Yeah, gorgeous. And she was at East Anglia Yarn Festival, and she seemed to really like it when I showed it off. So yeah, I was quite pleased with that. Yeah, so it was a bit of a, once you get kind of midway, you're like, when is this going to finish? But now it's finished. It's gorgeous. Right, so now let's get into the other thing. So it was now this is going to sound terrible and I apologize. It was my sister's birthday and I knit her a shawl, but I didn't get it to her in time for her birthday. I'm really sorry. But I'm hopefully going to see her today, so I will give it her today and hopefully she likes it. But what I did was I went to Owl Tree Crafts in Sheringham in Norfolk and found some yarn, and I found a pattern as well. Initially I planned to do maybe like a DK Sophie scarf, but then I saw this pattern and I thought, let's do that. So this is I'm sorry it's a bit creased. This is the project that I knit. So this is kind of a cute little scarf with some little eyelets and this kind of what would you call that, kind of a jaggedy edge. And so that's kind of its widest point right there. So it's quite thin, but it's more scarf, I would say. I wanted to knit her something that she could just throw on and not think about. So I didn't want to give her like a crescent shawl or something that she would have to think about how to wear. And I thought this was kind of a good middle ground. So that's it there. So I folded it in half. Okay, so I thought maybe she could just do it like this. I mean, obviously it's not really the time of year now, but it'd be great for winter. So she can just sort of do like that. And if you've seen it on my Instagram, my mom has modelled it for me. So yeah, so I thought she could do that, and then it's kind of an easy throw on, isn't it? And she could also, I guess, do it like this if she wanted. You know, it's her scarf, her shawl. She can do what she wants with it. So this is called the Sunset Scarf, and it's actually designed by the ladies at Owl Tree Crafts in Sheringham. So I saw it on the mannequin and I said, oh, what is this pattern? And then she gave me the pattern. And I've had a few people ask me about the pattern since, and I'd really rather encourage people to go to the shop and get it for themselves and get the yarn as well. Yes, it was a free pattern, and yes, I could definitely share it, but you know, I'd rather they have some business. Yeah, so please go to Owl Tree Crafts. It's probably, I would say it's one of my favorite yarn shops. It has everything you could want in there. I mean, primarily, what's the word I'm looking for? commercial yarn, but it also has, yeah, no, it's all commercial, I would say. She has so like Malabrigo, she has King Cole, she has lots of other things as well. So she has fabric, and she sells sewing boxes, which up there, that's one from Eltree Crafts that my parents bought me for Christmas. Yeah, so really recommend the shop. It's a bit of a trek, but it's worth going. And if you do go that way, there's also Venetia's, and there is another yarn shop in Sheringham, but I can't remember what it's called. There's a few there's one in Cromer as well that's really good. So if you're that way, or you're going that way, I'd really recommend that you go and have a look, and then get yourself a pattern. And the yarn. So speaking of the yarn, this is King Cole. I'm not sponsored by them. This wasn't it wasn't gifted for an advertisement or any of that sort of stuff. I'm just trying to give a small business some business. Speaking of the yarn isn't a small business. The yarn is King Cole. Although I don't think it is. Anyway, it's King Cole. Let me see if I have the tag here. No, I don't. I opened the bag and of course there's a tag for Blue Phone Yarns. But no, that wasn't the yarn. I don't have that to hand, I don't think. But anyway, I don't know why I'm looking around. It won't be in here. I think it's in the other room. So the yarn is King Cole. It's in their camouflage base, a camouflage range. It's DK, and this one is called Purple Mist. I think they had a green one and possibly a blue one, but my sister likes purple, or at least she did when we were younger. So yeah, Purple Mist. So that will go to her today, I think, if plans happen. So that was called the Sunset Scarf, if you do go to the shop. So then the last thing we have, and probably one of the most exciting, because a lot is happening with this pattern today specifically. So I'm filming this on the 18th of April. Hopefully this will be up today. No, that's not the project I wanted. Oh, there it is. Oh, golly. Sorry, yarn fell down. 1 second. Oops. Right, so sorry, I'm all over the place at the moment. So yes, this is in a Christmas bag. Vellichor had this bag. Sorry, I bought this bag from Vellichor. So there's the tag there. And my other shawl, my other scarf, was in my Joe Piccalilli bag, which it was sort of around Valentine's Day, so that's why I've got this one out. And I don't know if you can really see that. Joe Piccalilli. Anyway, I'll tag her below. And then, so this pattern, very exciting, today, April 18th. This pattern comes out today, not this bag, the pattern in the bag. So I want to say about a month ago, I signed up to be a test knitter for Twinset and Purl. And the lovely ladies, Jo and Rachel, my gosh, my brain just shut down for a second there. And I'd seen this shawl, sorry, just rooting the bag. I saw this shawl in their podcast and I just thought that looks gorgeous, firstly. Quite simple, but effective. And yeah, it is. It's gorgeous. So this is called the Alexander shawl. Is there a right side? I'm going to say it's that one. So this is the Alexander shawl. So that's the whole width there. That's probably the widest point right there. And then it goes to the points. Okay, so I'll hold it up a little bit closer so you can see the colours. Can you see that kind of orange and pink? I'm sorry, it's blurry. I don't know how to fix that. It's slightly blurry anyway. And you can see there's little blocks, little stripes. 1, 2, 3 stripes there in the picture. So, so this is called the Alexander shawl. Okay, gorgeous, just gorgeous. So the lovely ladies at Twinset and Purl, Jo and Rachel. So this was designed by Jo, I believe. I don't really know how they do things, but this was a Jo pattern as far as I'm aware, because it's her signature kind of crescent shawl, basically, and point to point, and stunning. So yes, so I signed up to be a test knitter. I had some yarn with me, some yarn. I was at my parents', so I didn't have all of this. I don't take all of this with me. I wish I could, but I didn't. So I had some yarn with me because I was going to knit their Simon shawl, but then this test knit came up and I thought, no, it has to be this. So let me start again. I'm really sorry. I'm not doing very well at this. This is called the Alexander shawl by Twinset and Purl. And this pattern comes out today. It is on Ravelry right now. It is ready to purchase. And what's brilliant about this pattern and brilliant about Twinset and Purl, you get 3 sizes and you get a cowl. So you get the shawl in 3 sizes and you get the cowl in 3 sizes. What? You're essentially getting 2 patterns that work across small to large, and the large is huge. It is huge. Okay, and so I'll explain why it's huge. So this here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's 7 blocks of 7 stripes. The medium is 9. The large is 11. So you can imagine, you've got to do 11 down. So it's quite big, and it's quite a bit longer because you've got to get to that 11. Okay. So you really get value for money with the pattern and the cowl. You get a cowl on top of all of that. The cowl is obviously in the exact same sort of process. I haven't knit the cowl, but I will be. Let me just show it on. Oh, gorgeous. Simple. You throw it on, it's quite, like I said, it's quite simple, but effective. Depending on how you're knitting or purling, that's all it is knit and purl. Makes it look slightly different depending on how you look at it. Again, I have not been sponsored. This is not an ad. I'm just trying to tell you about a great pattern. So yeah, I think that's how the ladies wear it on their podcast, a little bit like that. Maybe probably better than that, because I'm sure Jo's got some real design skills on how to put these shawls on. So yeah, so at first I must admit, now the pattern, beautiful. The yarn, not my favorite, but that's just me. I know it's a big hit with a lot of people, but I'm not that keen, and I'll go through what it is in a second. But isn't that gorgeous? And I must admit, close up, I love the colour, but from far away, I don't love the colour. And again, that's just the yarn. It's not anything to do with the pattern. The pattern is great. I would say it's probably, I don't know how they've listed it on Ravelry, but I would say it's probably like an advanced beginner. So yeah, it's not even that. I mean, it's knit and pearls with an I-cord edge. It's not, it's, how can I say this? It's not very difficult, but it does require that you are quite it's not going to hold your hand, is what I'm trying to say. It's not row by row, because it doesn't need to be, based on how the pattern works. And it's not, how can I say, if you're not paying attention, you can make a mistake, and not in a bad way. I mean, you could easily probably take it back. But yes, like I say, it's not going to hold your hand. You have to kind of have some knowledge about construction, about counting your reading your knitting, counting your stitches. I mean, that's pretty obvious. So yeah, great pattern, great. And I'm so impressed that you get so many options. Now let me tell you about the yarn. So I used Yarnsmiths Merino Sock Superwash. I used, so, oh, now I'm going to mess this up, aren't I? Oh, no, I wrote it down. So this, so the orange is called Pumpkin. And I'd say that's pretty close to it. Yeah, that's pretty close. Sorry, I'm trying not to cover my mouth. So that's Yarnsmiths Merino Sock Superwash. That's Pumpkin 125, that is. And that is from Wool Warehouse. Ooh. Wool Warehouse here. The little sheeps. And that's their yarn. That's the yarn, their brand of yarn. And then I also have, the pink is Fuschia. And yeah, I'd say that's pretty close, maybe a bit darker. And that is number 370 Fuschia. So they both start with, so they're 2K370, 2K125. Okay, I'll put that in the notes obviously below. Not a fan. I've had this yarn for quite a while. And like I said, so originally I bought it for a Ruth shawl by Twinset and Purl. And then I changed my mind and wanted to knit a Simon shawl with the same yarn by Twinset and Purl. And then it became a Alexander shawl. All the yarn weight, all the, you know, the amounts and everything are in the pattern. I used about, that's what I've got left. So I used about 60, between 67 and 70 grams for the small sized shawl. And I think it's a perfect size for me. I know people like a little bigger scarfy shawl thing. So that's, you know, you do you. The yarn. Okay. I think I've mentioned this before, maybe. Not my favourite. It's very fluffy. I don't know if I can even demonstrate how fluffy it is. Can you see? Yeah, you can kind of see a halo on it, right? Now, I'm not against that. I'm not against smooth, soft yarn. I mean, it's very soft. It's not even, and it's 75% merino wool, 25% nylon. So of course it's going to be soft. 100 grams per 400 meters. So I'm not expecting, you know, roughness, but it's so fluffy that it sticks to itself, and that is a pain when you're trying to undo it. Or in my case, what happened was I started the shawl a couple of times because I just wasn't happy with how I'd started the shawl. So I ripped it back, wound it round the ball. Now it comes in these kind of long balls, but then they're not like, no, I can't show you that. They're not like a skein, and they're not like a ball. They're not like a sock yarn. They're like a long. They're skein. They're skein shaped, but it's wound round, not tied up, and then you have to undo it to wind it. I'm not looking at the camera again, sorry. So what I had to do was that I had to undo that, and then I wound it round the ball. When we undid it, when Mum did it, we wound it round the ball. And then as I was unwinding it, and even when I was unwinding it from the actual ball itself, it was getting caught constantly getting caught in itself. And if you like that, go for it. You go for it. I'm never going to stop anyone. Again, I'm not an ad. I'm not sponsored. No one's bought this for me. I bought this with my own money. But it's not, I need to put a hashtag on this, not an ad. If you like that, go for it. If you don't, I don't go for it, because it got knotted, which is why I have this little guy. And if I could show you, that's kind of what happened. I got these knots in there, clumps of yarn on it, and yeah, not my favorite at all. And I kind of was aware this was going to happen, because we wound my mum's. So my mum didn't want it she wanted it in a cake, a proper cake. Like, the whole thing's gonna fall apart now. So she wired it in a cake like this. Oh, you could have seen that. Never mind. But so she didn't have to pull from the middle, which was fine, or from the outside, whichever. So when we were doing that, I was really pulling on itself, and it just was really sticky. So I was prepared for that when I started. So it's not like I didn't know that ahead of time, but anyway, not my favourite. Probably won't be buying it again. I have another skein of yellow, which I'm going to knit some socks for Marie Curie. I did think about doing another one with the yellow and the orange, which I might still do, but I'm not keen on knitting with that yarn again, particularly for something like this. Might be easier in a sock. Gorgeous. So let's get back to the actual fun stuff, the shawl. So I love this, absolutely love it. I'm gonna knit another in something. I haven't decided what yet. So in the test knit group, people have used so like me, they've used two solid colors. You can use you could use tonals, you could use self-striping. Somebody started knitting one with a Zauber ball, gorgeous. And I think one of the Twinset Purl ladies has done that as well. Is maybe the one doing that. Sorry, I haven't paid full attention in the group. But some people knit, like, I think we had over a month maybe to knit one, and like that's all we had to do was knit one. And some of the ladies knit 2 or 3. One lady has already started the cowl, and the cowl only got to us maybe end of last week. So it's a fairly quick knit, fairly I don't know if addictive is the right word, but I would say pretty addictive. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it on. So yeah, so what was I saying? Right, pattern comes out today, and the lovely ladies, Twinset and Purl, Rachel and Jo, I'm going to say her name again just in case anyone didn't get it the first 3 times. They have given a code. The code is Cousin Alex, COUSINALEX, and that gives you 25% off. So if you're watching this between today, April the 18th, and April the 21st, midnight on April the 21st, British summertime, you can get 25% off this pattern. I will put it on my YouTube, on my Instagram, and it's also in the notes below. Right, I've done that bit now. Okay, so I'm going to take this off because I don't really want to wear anything inside. I'm kind of weird like that, sorry. So, love that. Really love that. And you can really play with colours. Someone's knit a gorgeous, gorgeous blue and grey one. And I wish I remembered everyone's names, but I'm useless at that. It's blue and grey. Twinset and Purl will be doing a little reel of all the test knits, so you can see how gorgeous they are. There's another lady, I do know her name, but I won't sorry, I shouldn't really say people's names, you know, other than maybe other than Twinset and Purl. There's another lady that's knit a bright neon pink one with orange as well. So it's very similar to mine, but mine is the Moody Sister version. She has knit hers with, I believe, mohair and fingering weight. So I think the mohair is the bright neon pink, but again, I don't remember the details, but please check out the project page for those details, and again, I'll put the link below. You get a shawl and a cowl. Let me tell you how much it is, just so you know. Where is it? Have I sold it to you yet? So it's called the Alexander Shawl and Cowl. It is £7 without the discount code. Okay, so £7, you get 3 sizes of a cowl, 3 sizes of a shawl. You can't go wrong. Yeah, so it's knit in a 3.5mm needle, and that's what I knit mine in. All sizes use 50 grams or under fingering weight yarn in each of colour A and B. Mine was slightly more than, it's around there. She gives more specific weights in the pattern though, I assume. Oh no, sorry. All sizes use 50 grams or under. That's for the cowl, sorry. For the shawl, it all depends what size you knit, obviously. So I'll let you all look at that. But yeah, I mean, that was what total, that would have been approximately, what, 100 and something grams. So a skein-ish, a little bit over. So brilliant. Actually, let me just double check. I can double check for you right here. So I used 67 grams of the pink and 68 grams of the pumpkin. So 1.35 skeins. And my pink skein, one thing I did like about the yarn actually was the pink skein was way over 100 grams, and the orange was also just over 100. So I think the pink one was 107 grams, and the orange was 101 grams, something like that. So yeah, anyway, and it's fairly affordable yarn. Again, it's, have a look on Woolwarehouse, and I'll link it below as well if I remember. Let me just make a note for myself. Oops. But I'm not, again, like I said, I don't want to stress this more than I need to. I'm not sponsored. I'm not getting any money for this. It's just, I'm just showing you what I've knit and what I've enjoyed. So speaking of enjoyment, now we've got the important bit, really, isn't it? That's what you're all here for. EAYF, East Anglia Yarn Festival. Amazing. It was really, really good. Really, really good. It was a while ago now, so I realised I've probably slightly missed the boat on this one. But doesn't matter. Loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Always love yarn shows. So me and my mum went. We had it's timed entries. Our time was, I think, 11 o'clock. We got there, walked straight in. We didn't have to wait. We just walked straight in. It was a really nice day. The venue's really good. I think there was way more vendors this time. So the aisles were a mixed width. If you're bothered about any of this, sorry, skip ahead if you're not. The aisles were kind of a mixed width, so some were smaller than others. Fine. There's lots of seating area, both ends of the room. There's food as well. We don't bother with the food. We usually take our own, which is, fine. I think they had a brownie lady there. They had like a coffee place, a little cafe. So yeah, anyway, that was good. We've been before, obviously. I think it's at the Norfolk Showground. I don't have the little thing with me. Let me see. No, I think it's downstairs. Yeah, I don't have the program with me. Let me run down and get it. Have a look at the stash while you're doing that. While I'm doing that, should I say. sorry. Turns out it was only in the next room, but I went downstairs. Anyway, so, right. A good podcaster would edit that out, but I'm not going to. So, East Anglia Yarn Festival. There's their little logo. It changes every year, which is really cute. But there you go. So, there's the dates. The 15th and 16th of March. We went on the 15th. And whoops, I've got all my little bits in here, which is actually quite handy. That'll be good. I can use that. So there's the kind of map for it, and all those squares are vendors. Okay, so you get a fair idea of what how many vendors there were there. I mean, it's just, yeah, gorgeous, worth going. It's out, I know it's quite out there for a lot of people, but I think it's I personally think it's worth going. But then I would say that about any yarn festival, regardless of location or food or any of that. So if you like buying yarn, go to a yarn festival. The next one is next year. It's obviously it's on the 21st and 22nd of March 2026. So they've already booked that in ready, and it is at the Norfolk Showground Arena. Folk is, so the lady behind Folk Yarn, and she's also the Lonely Knitter, and she's also, I think she has another name, her actual name probably, and if it says in here, no, oh, Laura, that's her name. She runs East Anglia Yarn Festival. So if you're familiar with Folk Yarn and the Lonely Knitter, and I think she has a third one, that's her. She does that's Laura. She does the East Anglia Yarn Festival. So yes, perfect, brilliant. Every year, what I do like about this yarn show, and it's a bit different to every other yarn show, is they do a pattern. They do they do a vote, and you can vote on which pattern you would knit for the show. You want to knit for the show. So it's usually a crochet pattern and a knitted pattern. It's usually a garment. So this year it was Daft Days cardigan, I think it's called. I wonder if it's in here. And so Daft Days by here we go. So it was Daft Days cardigan by the Crayobear, and the crochet pattern here was the Magnus cardigan. I'm just double checking there's no like codes on here or anything. So that was the Magnus cardigan. That's the crochet pattern. So this was all voted for on Instagram prior to the event. And there's the Daft Days cardigan, gorgeous. And I missed out on it, of course. But there is a code. You get a code for it. It lasts usually till the end, like from when it's decided till the end of the year. And then you get a little ribbon if you knit the pattern, and you're wearing it on the day. So that's quite fun, I think. Not many yarn shows do that here, or anywhere really. So yeah, I thought that was really fun. So now, as we all know, this show is usually the Blue Fern Yarn show, and today will be no different. So I slightly went overboard again at the Blue Fern Yarns stand. Shannon, just you know what, I might just pay my money straight into Shannon's account, which is what happens anyway, because I end up buying all of her yarn because it's gorgeous. It's in a pile, like it's just all here, and I didn't just buy Blue Fern Yarns, but mostly. So let me just find out her yarn specifically. So I went literally with one plan, one skein in mind. Okay, one skein. And I'll explain that skein in a second. So, yeah. Okay. So I bought 6 skeins from Blue Fern Yarns. Just 6. I mean, I only went to buy 1, but I bought 6. As usual, I raided the bargain bin because why not? And I got I got 5 skeins out of the bargain bin, so I'm pretty happy with that. And one skein that was, you know, not from the bargain bin. So firstly, let's start with this stunning, just stunning. It's my new favorite word today. Stunning. Isn't it gorgeous? When I went to buy this from Shannon, she said, I knew you would pick this yarn. I mean, come on. So this was in the bargain bin. This is a one of a kind. So it's classic sock, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 425 meters per 100 grams. Of course, blue fern yarns. There's the label there. Gorgeous. Come on. So that is going to be one of many t-shirts that I have planned. I don't know which one, but it will be one of them. Gorgeous. Oh, I love it. Okay, so that's number 1. Then I also bought this. I believe this is from Bargain Bin. Oh, come on. That's pretty accurate. That was accurate for that one as well. The light's good. Blue fern yarns. So I only bought 1 because there was only 1. If there was 2, I would have bought 2. And this is called High Tea. High Tea. Classic sock, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 425 meters per 100 grams. I don't know what it's going to be, but I like it. Now, this is the yarn I actually went to buy. I'd say that's pretty accurate. You can see the green bits here as well. The blue. Stunning. So this is Blue Fern Yarns. This is it's called Apothecary. Again, classic sock, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 425 meters per 100 grams. Gorgeous. Now the reason I wanted this is because I have another one. This is the main skein from her 2024 Advent. So her 100 gram skein. So I wanted another one. Can't remember what I was going to knit with it now. I know I had a plan. Might be a shawl, I think. Potentially the oh, my mom's just knit one. I can't remember what it's called. Stephen West shawl. Slip Stravaganza, I think it's called. So it might be that with her Advent. So that's what I sort of had a thought of. But I'm not sure yet. I'm sorry, I haven't done works in progress yet. I'll do that right at the end. Then I walked away, happy with my purchases. Obviously, Blue Fern Yarns. What can I say? And then I went around, did a bit more shopping at other places. I did buy yarn from other places, and then I went back and I bought these 2. Gorgeous. It's just a grey. Just it's sort of I would say it's kind of purpley grey, but I don't know. Well, I don't know. That's what I'm seeing, purpley grey. That's pretty accurate to colour, I would say. It's a bit darker maybe. This is called Morally Grey Seconds. So she has a in her library, I think she calls it. I can't remember but this is at her. So Morally Grey is a colour that she dyes up on a regular basis. It's her regular colour, but this is a seconds version of Morally Grey. Again, Blue Fern Yarns. And again, it's a classic sock, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 425 meters per 100 grams. This might have been what I had thought for the shawl, or it's going to be a stripy top with, if you remember from last podcast, I bought that those spring colours, spring minis from Pixie yarns. So it might be that with the striping with this instead of the yak, undyed yak, but I haven't decided yet. If you don't remember, check out the last podcast, that will explain. So yeah, that was Blue Fern yarns, and gorgeous. Then I found Pixie yarn. Oops. That's pretty close, I would say, to colour. Yeah, that's pretty good. Maybe a smidge darker. So this is Pixie yarn. I love her yarn. Oh my god. So that's Pixie yarn. I like her tags too. This is called Mam, like mom, but Mam. I don't know how, I can't say it how people say it properly. So it was a Mother's Day colourway. Gorgeous. So it's a finger and weight sock yarn, 75% merino, 25% nylon, 425 meters, 464 yards. Again, it's going to be a top when I finally get around to knitting all these tops. So that's that. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And I also bought, I don't know how many because I've got 3 on the table, but I don't think I bought 3 at East Anglia. I think I bought only 2 at East, maybe 1 or 2. Is undyed yak, also from Pixie yarn. So this is, like I say, it's undyed finger and weight sock yarn, superwash merino, 70% superwash merino, 20% yak, 10% nylon. So yeah, so that will be that. Again, that might be the stripe with the spring colors with her those minis that I bought, but I haven't decided yet. And then Vellichor. I went to Vellichor yarn, and now I know you're all thinking, oh, she bought another bag. She bought another bag from Vellichor, and Vellichor has tried, she's tried her hardest, poor Laura has tried her hardest to stop me from buying a bag from her, but I didn't buy a bag, yay. I bought yarn instead, just for a change. So yes, so Vellichor yarn, I saw this yarn, this colourway at Newbury when I saw Laura at Newbury, and I spotted it, and I'd already bought a lot of yarn. So I thought, no Robin, no, you see Vellichor a lot, she'll have it again, fingers crossed. And she did. There's no words. All the words have gone. Oh, gorgeous. I love it so much. Right, so let's get the details, Robin. Stop talking. Vellichor yarns. Vellichor yarns. She is vellichoryarns.co.uk. This is a 4-ply, 100 gram, 425 meters, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. And it wasn't even in the bargain bin. I love it so much. So yeah, like I said, had my eye on that colour. It's giving Barbie vibes. I'm just gonna say it. So that's not a turn of phrase that I use very often. It's giving, but there we go. It's giving Barbie vibes for me, and I kind of really like it. And I don't care. Again, it's probably gonna be a tea, but I don't know which one yet. Isn't it gorgeous? I love it so much. The bright pink. Oh, anyway. So that was Vellichor yarn. I also met the lovely Ellie of Craft House Magic. So I'll just show her. That's her logo there. Let me see that a bit better. She is so she makes this is a list: handmade project bags, hand-dyed yarn, knitting, crochet accessories, needles and hooks, fabric, sewing and bag making supplies, knitting, sewing, crochet patterns and kits, designed, handcrafted and curated by Ellie. She is lovely, honestly, so lovely. She has a YouTube podcast. I'm sure you will watch it. They're lovely, short and sweet. She has her gorgeous son at the end, Jensen. I hope she won't mind me saying that on here, but she says his name all the time on her podcast. Or his name, sorry. So that's Ellie of Craft House Magic, and I bought some higher needles. Now, not needles, sorry, cables. I was so excited to see higher sold at a yarn show. I don't have to buy it online, it's right there. Amazing. So I think she had cables. I don't know if she had the actual needles. She might do. I haven't looked at her website. I was so excited. So I bought some cables, higher cables from her, and I'll be buying from her again, hopefully. She said she'd let me get my mouth back together. She said she would be at East Anglia Yarn Festival again if she gets a place, so hopefully she'll be there. She did say she won't be doing any other shows, but like I said, she's online, so please purchase from her shop. She has an advent coming out. She has two actually, so she has 2 different advents, so please check out her Instagram. She is, I don't know, Craft House Magic, I think, just on Instagram. I'm sorry, but she's Craft House Magic, crafthousemagik.co.uk. My mouth has gone from dry to just too much now. So yeah, so I won't show you the high cables, they're just cables. And speaking of advents, I have bought an advent from Blue Fern Yarns. So I bought her, so the theme this year is Weather the Storm. Gorgeous kind of mood boards, kind of she did say it would be kind of dark and moody to bright, and it looks just like that, kind of dark grays, not blacks, but dark grays, purpley colors into a blue green. That's how it looks to me. I don't know because I've never seen it, obviously. I love a surprise, but that's what the mood boards give, kind of a gray, blue, green, and the green is bright. It's like, it looks, I mean, I'm not going to say it is this color, but that's what the color is in the mood board, very similar to that. So she has a couple of options this year. So she has her daily 20-gram mini. I think you can also get a 10-gram. And then separate from that is the Christmas Day set. So if you want just the set, you could buy the Christmas Day set on its own. Now that comes in a wide range of things. You could get 200 gram skeins, 250-gram skeins, a sock set, whatever. You can get it all in all her bases as far as I can see. Classic sock, DK, yak, the list goes on. Please look at her website, please. It's gorgeous yarn. And then I've also purchased Crafty Bird. Also, just going back slightly, Blue Fern Yarns does installments. You can pay in installments, and so does Crafty Bird. So I've done the pay installments. It makes it, I think the first one was about £30-something for the first one, and then the next one will be £30-something. You pay the shipping on the first one, and then it's slightly less on the other ones, and I think you pay 4 times. And that will be every month or every other month, I think. I can't really remember the details, sorry. Please look at her website. And then I've also bought Crafty Bird. I know her name is Robin. That's all I've got, I'm afraid. I don't know her website, but it's Crafty Bird. The theme is Winnie the Pooh. Oh, it looks so cute. It's got some yellows, some browns, some blues, some kind of orangey colours, some reds in there. I don't think it's going to be quite a fade like Blue Fern Yarns usually is, but it's going to speak to each other, I guess is the word. She's taking it from different stories in the Winnie the Pooh series. That's all I know. Sorry, I don't know the rest. Please look at her Instagram. I know there's some more gorgeous advents out there. I've spied a Bridgerton one that might have to be purchased. I can't remember who that's by. I think it's by I can't remember, sorry, I can't remember now, but yeah, go check out Instagram and websites for advents. I've been chatting with Cozy Crab, I think her name is. I think she has an Etsy. She does crochet patterns, and you can buy the actual finished object in her Etsy shop. I'm sorry if I've butchered all of this. I've been talking to her and we've been passing along advents and things. She's also bought a Blue Phone Yarns. I'd like to say I influenced her, but I don't know. Any kickback from that, Shannon? No, I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. So yeah, so we're very excited about the advents. Obviously, I talked to my mum about them. My mum's also bought a Blue Phone Yarns one. It's a Blue Phone Yarn show. Sorry, Shannon. Sorry. And how good was it, speaking of Shannon and her mom Amanda, to see them back on YouTube? They are back. They've had some family things going on. I'll let them explain. Please watch their podcast, Norfolk Girls Knitting, or Norfolk Girls Knit. Let me double check, because they always mention me and it's so lovely and I really just need to know what their name is. Sorry. So my YouTube's being very strange. No. You know, when you use YouTube on a computer, it's completely different, isn't it? Well, that's what I think anyway. Right, subscriptions. Anyway, I'll get the name in a second. So yes, it was lovely to see them back. Where are you? Where are you? Oh God, I'm so sorry, Shannon. Here we go. We're getting there now. So yeah, they are Norfolk Girls Knitting. I wasn't far off. So they are back. Well, they were back and they did a podcast and that was great. And it was great to see them at the show as always. And we saw the Twinset and Purl ladies there as well. And yes, so one last thing and then I will leave you all to your day. Finished objects. Oh, sorry, not finished objects. Works in progress. So as soon as I cast off the Alexander shawl, I had in mind already to start the John shawl by Twinset and Purl. Twinset and Purl. Yeah, so I took the yarn with, I don't know why I'm looking down there, sorry. I took the yarn with me to knit, and then obviously the test knit came out. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll just do the test knit and then I'll do the John shawl. So that's what I've done. So like I said, literally the next day of casting off the Alexander, I cast on the John shawl. So this is John from, so named after John, that's the wrong side, sorry, John of Bird Street Yarn. And it's kind of a stripy, again, crescent, very classic Joe of Twinset and Purl pattern, stripy, like I said, and I haven't brought the box up with me, but it's from the, again, so it was designed for John of Bird Street Yarn, with John in mind, should I say, or John, anyway. And this is his yarn, Bird Street Yarn. This is called Dark Side. This is the main skein, and then you stripe it. So the point of the project, other than to recognise John and Bird Street Yarn, was to use their reimagined clubs. So what John and Claire of Bird Street Yarn do is they take one of their regular main skeins and they break it up into minis. So the colours that are in here are in minis. So you've got the grey, the sort of darker red. It's a lot darker than that in person. The slightly lighter red, it's probably a bit darker than that in person. The very dark grey and orange. Oh, I love that orange. So as you can see, probably not very well because I'm not showing this very well. I'm trying to get them all in one hand. Let's see if we can do that. No, don't fall. No, I can't do it, sorry. There we go. So all those minis are in there. That's called the Reimagined Club. Now, unless you don't know Bird Street Yarn, or you're not familiar with them, you might not have seen that, but that is something they do with all their colorways, and they bring one out, I don't know, every month or something. I don't know if you can get past ones. I don't know if you can get this one, but they are really pretty, and this shawl was designed with that club in mind. I'm a poet. So yeah, so that's what I've done. That's what I've got to now. So I'm on section 3. So the first section, oh golly, sorry, I can't do this. So the first section was here, just up to here, so this little point here. Second section was here, between those 2 points there, and then this is the third section. Ignore that marker there, that's just something else. So you follow a stripe pattern, so as you can see, the colours repeat themselves. So you've got that bright, I start with the very bright red, orange, dark grey, dark red, grey, dark, so that's the, sorry, dark grey. So that's the stripe pattern. And then you just repeat that on. So you've got the bright red, the orange, the grey, the dark red, the grey, the dark grey. And then the pattern is literally line by line, knit and purls, a few knit front backs, obviously, to get the increases. And it kind of gives this quite, I don't know if it's showing up very well on here, but you can see it's kind of very, corrugated, maybe the word, I don't know, almost ribbed like. Yeah, gorgeous. I've made the odd mistake, and not in that I've left it, I've tinked it back. Of course I have. If you know me, you would know that. I can't leave a mistake in there. So yeah, so that's that. Really enjoying that. It's like I say, it isn't it's line by line, and I need to pay attention. I usually watch it. I usually do it while I'm watching TV, but I watch the knitting more than the actual TV, so it's better to look at anyway, usually. So yeah, that's it. And it's living in my Easter bag, which I thought was good for today. Well, it's always been in the Easter bag. So this was a bag that I made. It's got a dark blue lining. I don't sell these, I'm just showing you for interest's sake. And then it's got little bunnies on the ribbon. But yeah, I made this a long time ago, and it's quite a big bag. It's quite, you can fit a lot of stuff in there. So yeah, that's what I am knitting at the moment. Right, an hour. I'm so sorry, but I had a lot to say. Clearly. I was going to say something, but I might not, because in case I don't do it. So you may or may not see me again this weekend, or even next weekend, or in the week. Maybe I haven't decided yet what I want to do. I've got some plans for this. And I just said I wasn't going to say anything in case I don't do it, but I've got plans to kind of sort it a bit. And I might film it, I might not, I haven't decided yet. It might be boring. And I don't know how to speed it up, so you would literally be just me. But I thought it might be interesting to have a little look at the stash and show you the bits that you haven't seen. So there's probably quite a lot in here that obviously I bought before I did the podcast, and you haven't seen it. Or if you haven't seen my Instagram or anything like that, you wouldn't have seen some of the yarn. So that's what I might do. I might not. Yes. So anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that. I will upload this hopefully today. I will add some notes. I'm sorry if I keep wobbling the table. I will add all the notes in the description box below. And let me just check my notes, make sure I've got everything. Oh, ins and outs, just quickly, sorry. So in 1,930 grams, sorry. Out 717.5 grams. So I was really pleased with that. So my John shawl is only going to be an out. It's not going to be an in, because I already had the yarn. I've had the yarn since Wonderwall last year, so That's really cool. My Alexander shawl is also just an out. Let me double check I've done that properly. Is just an out, and my Giddy Yarns is also just an out. So, you know, there's progress. Maybe, I don't know if I'm using more than I'm bringing in. No, I'm not, but I feel like I'm using some of the stash at least, and that's the main thing, isn't it, really? So yes, plans for future is just to finish this for now. I don't know what I'm doing after this. I haven't decided yet. And I'm really going to leave that there. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'm sorry it was a bit rambly and wandering. And I hope you enjoyed the mid episode stash watch. Make sure it doesn't run away. And yes, thank you. Bye.